With new details on a case we've been covering for a while here at CBS News, Vincent Simmons was released from a Louisiana prison in February after spending 44 years behind bars for a crime he says he did not commit. Our lead national correspondent, David Begnaud, you'll recall this, was by his side when a judge ruled he did not get a fair trial the first time. Simmons was convicted in 1977 of attempted aggravated of twin sisters, Sharon and Karen Sanders. He's always maintained his innocence. This case is the focus of this week's 48 Hours season finale, and David spoke with one woman who claims she knows the truth about what happened.
Freedom.
When Vincent Simmons walked out of the Louisiana State Penitentiary earlier this year, he felt vindicated. Vincent was found guilty in 1977 in Marksville, Louisiana, of 2 counts of attempted aggravated and sentenced to 100 years in prison.
I was shocked, guilty. I ain't did nothing.
A judge vacated his conviction after finding that Vincent did not receive a fair trial, though the judge did not make a finding as to whether or not Vincent is innocent or guilty. But identical twins Karen and Sharon Sanders insist that Vincent them when they were 14 years old and he was 25.
I know exactly who raped me that night.
The twins say they were with their then 18-year-old cousin Keith Laborde when they encountered Vincent at a gas station, and Keith agreed to give Vincent a ride. They say Vincent directed them to this road, where he forced Keith into the trunk of the car and then the two of them.
The limitations it put on our life, like with the anxiety, it's taken a lot from us.
I looked at the discovery, I was like, well, everything they said at trial's a lie. It's all a lie.
Justin Bonus, Vincent Simmons' current attorney, is skeptical. He believes that the twins are lying to protect Keith Laborde.
With me right now.
Keith's cousin, Dana Brouillette, told a private investigator in 2020 and swore in an affidavit that Keith admitted to her that Vincent Simmons was never with them that night.
He came out and told me there was never a black man.
Instead, in that affidavit, Dana says that Keith told her he had consensual sex with one of the girls and locked the other in the trunk.
He locked Sharon in the trunk, and he said the sex between him and Karen was consensual. He said, but the other one was a little Hellcat. That's the one that put the scratches on his neck.
In the affidavit, Dana says that Keith had scratches on his neck. She told the private investigator that she believes Keith and the twins made up the story about a black man to explain away those scratches. Karen and Sharon deny that. But in a stunning admission, Karen does acknowledge having had consensual sex with Keith years before the twins say they were attacked.
But that has nothing to do with what Vincent did. That's 2 separate incidents.
I called Keith to ask him about all of this.
Hello, Keith. This is David Begnaud with CBS News.
Keith, now 63 years old, denied ever having sex with Karen. He said they just, quote, played around like children, end quote. And he also insisted that whatever had happened between the two of them had nothing to do with what Vincent Simmons did that night.
Yeah, guilty. I don't give and yeah, he's a and you can put that on TV. I ain't scared of him.
Okay, so let me just get this straight, right? And again, shout out to anybody who pulled up to the live stream when I was going over this story. So let's get this straight. So one day there was these 3 family members, teenagers, whatever you want to call it, back in the 70s, 1977, driving along, and then they magically find a mysterious black man, right? And they decided to give this mysterious black man, of which they don't know, a lift in the car. So instead of him, maybe waiting for a cab, taxi, walking, getting a bike, whatever it is, or even God trying to ferry him directly through the air, they decided to give him a lift. When they decided to give him a lift, that's when everything took for a turn. And then he got a hold of the situation, and he just had his way. 3 people, 3 versus 1. This dude just had his way. Nobody fought back. Nobody did anything. Literally, the numbers were against this man, and against all odds, he was able to win. So then, as that took place, he told everybody to get into the trunk of a car. And then as he did that, he decided to play hopscotch or any mighty mo, catch a tiger by his toe. If he hollers, let him go. And then whoever the lucky winner was going to, be in Pleasantville, right? They were going to take a ride on the hill. And he did this, right? And the sister stated that they were able to point him out because they just knew it was him. They knew it was him. They knew it was him. But then you have this white detective that looked at the evidence in the story. He was like, yo, what are y'all talking about? Y'all are nothing but liars. Let's talk about the facts. It's like, what are y'all talking about? And then it got deeper because one of the family members, again, corroborated one of the parts of the story, which was that one family member was having a moment with another, for lack of a better word. And one of the twins stated that she even said in an interview, she was like, yeah, that happened, but that's completely separate from what happened with this black guy who did this to me and to basically to us and all of these things. Like we got anxiety, we can't sleep, this, that, and the third, and oh my God. And what? So from 1977 to 2024, you haven't been able to get a wink of sleep, right? Haven't been able to get a wink. That dude been locked up for decades, and you ain't been able to sleep since, really? Or were you not able to sleep since because you know that everything that you said was a fabrication and a lie? That you were trying to hide from your family the relationship that was happening within the family. In that, I guess your other sister got jealous of the situation because she wasn't getting attention from said family member. And, she had to get put away somewhere. So she was the one that got locked in the trunk of a car. And in order to excuse away some of the, some of the scratches that were there, you had to make up a story of a fictitious black man that so and so did it, right? That's what you decided to do. And even after this story, the 60 minutes or whatever it was done, and the detective basically said that y'all were fabricators and liars, the evidence basically states that you had people that came back and looked and assessed the whole situation. It was like, yeah, this man is innocent. Exonerate this man and let him be free. Even after all of that, y'all still up here talking about, no, he did it. He did it. What are you? Just give it up. Just give it up. Just admit that you are liars. But I forget. Sometimes people lie to themselves long enough about something that it becomes the truth. So they've been lying to themselves for 40 something years to basically get this concrete, to get this. They don't know anything else now. This is literally all of their credibility. This is their whole life on the line when it deals with this story. This is probably what they were really celebrities or really famous for. Because people are like, oh, those are the two girls. We're so sorry, right? People probably coming up to them, giving them hugs and celebrating them and saying how brave they, right, for years and decades. And this is what they were really riding off of. Now we're in the 2000s. The jig is up. It's curtains. It's over. Close the curtain. Grand opening, grand closing. It's done. Like I said, this is the society that we are in, where an innocent man can be exonerated. He can be found not guilty after people have actually fully looked over the actual evidence and assist the situation and be like, yeah, this black man, an injustice took place. We need to free this man. We need to get him out of here. He should have nowhere at any point in time ever been locked up because he didn't commit any crimes at all. We can know this to be the fact and still have people like this out here spinning these tall tales and these lies. That's crazy. And as I stated before, there's no type of accountability out here when it deals with women and how it is that they decide to move and tell a lot of these tall tales and these lies. If he was gone for 40 something years from society, they too shall be gone from 40 something years from society. They shouldn't see the light of day up until they're 80. But I know that that's just wishful thinking. I know that equality and a balance in the world and the universe doesn't really exist. So this man is never going to get the justice that he actually deserves. And that's the sad part. There will never be laws in place to make sure that if and when a woman lies to this magnitude, that she will serve that time or the exact same time, if not more, that that innocent man was either going to serve or has already served. And that's crazy. Like I said before, this is why I don't really go with the whole thing of equality or believe in any of that, because it's impossible. You got certain rules for thee, and then there are certain rules for me. But anyways, let me know what you guys think about this video and everything that I stated in the comment description below. And as always, peace, love, and stay tuned for the next video.